Wunsiedel in the Fichtel Mountains, where SWW Wunsiedel is taking an innovative approach to future energy supplies, using a concept that has become known as the path of Wunsiedel.
As a municipal energy provider, our job is essentially to ensure a permanent, affordable and environmentally friendly supply of both electricity and heating for our residents. In a nutshell, the path of Wunsiedel is the idea of securing your own energy supply from alternative sources.
Everyone's talking about sustainability, and it feels good to be part of the path of Wunsiedel.
This means we operate not only the networks but also the generators in an essentially renewable way, and transforming these alternative sources at an individual household level. The path of Wunsiedel is an opportunity to involve every resident.
You really feel you're contributing to a brighter future. In Wunsiedel, the future has already begun. Renewable energies always pose a particular challenge.
I always say that, just like little children, the sun and wind do what they want. Since we can't control the sun and wind, we have to adjust our consumption. But because we don't want to restrict our comfort, we have to automatically adapt our behavior. The system of the future could entail certain consumers or producers who have surplus energy supplying this power to neighbors who need it, for example. A bird can fly on its own and survive by itself, but simply lives better in a flock. And that's exactly the same with the energy supply. In very simple terms, a flexible network means I have something that others want or need, or I can use something that others have too much of, in this case, electricity and heating. Which is why we need a network that connects precisely that with residents' behavior. Every customer is a consumer, and everyone has something to offer. On the one hand, they use electricity, and on the other, they can specify certain time periods during which they will definitely have no need of power.
The flexible management of electricity demand is therefore an important element of the overall system.
Because we don't have an energy problem on our planet, we simply have the problem of supplying the right kind of energy at the right time and in the required place. And we can only do that if we're flexible, not with more kilowatt hours.
But in order to be flexible, processes must be analyzed and reflected on, such as here in the local brewery.
If you're an extremely energy-intensive company, like a brewery, you naturally have to consider how you can optimize your consumption. Our cold water storage system and refrigeration equipment, which are extremely energy-intensive, are flexibly disconnected during peak periods. And as a result of these flexible cycles, it makes no difference to us what time the system is actually switched on.
Flexible management of electricity consumption works not only for businesses, but also for private households.
The flexible system disconnects our fridge if I have too little energy on the market. This downtime is kept to a minimum, so the temperature inside the fridge doesn't rise, and I'm not even aware that it's being controlled.
The system is interesting because it automatically detects which appliances are using a lot of electricity.
And if I'm a member of a flexible network portal, I can also earn money using any surplus that I don't need. For me, the three clear winners are that I can earn money, help the environment, and benefit future generations.
Of course, another advantage of this flexible system is that we also save money. We receive a credit for any electricity that we don't need. Electromobility is also part of this flexible management system, including local service station operators. The charging point is fed from our solar energy plant. A strategic investment for the company. You can never be sure how long the market will stay this way. The entire system is extremely future-focused for us. This regional flexibility can also be made available to higher-level networks in a regulated manner.
By regulated, we mean maintaining flexibility, so I can provide a flexible service at any time.
In order to permanently ensure supply and stability, a lithium-ion battery storage system has also been installed. The systematic linking of the various energy sectors plays a key role in the path of Wunsiedel.
At the end of the day, the path of Wunsiedel is the corporate strategy that we've adopted in order to significantly expand renewable energies, i.e., in the form of wind power, photovoltaics and biomass, as well as to drive sector linkage in a way that doesn't regard heating or electricity as standalone sectors, but always as a single networked unit, with the aim of generating and consuming energy locally and keeping energy transport to a minimum.
Byproducts from the regional timber industry are used for this. Transportable energy storage has been developed using wooden pellets.
This has resulted in almost 100% of the region's wood production, from treetops to shavings, being used in the region.
The path of Wunsiedel is inspiring and strengthening the region. We're convinced that a sustainable approach is essential. We aim to promote regionality, and it was the only way for us to achieve this.
Yes, for me, the path of Wunsiedel essentially means an increase in the value placed on the region, so any profit from energy provision can remain within the rural district, thereby making us less dependent on listed firms. We're not a PLC with shareholders. Our stakeholders are residents and nature.
A strong energy community has been created in Wunsiedel.
And a strong community also strengthens each individual. This is the main argument and also the philosophy of our future energy supply, which is centrally organized, yet has a bottom-up structure. It's regulated from the bottom up while serving a larger entity.
The concept is paying off, and Wunsiedel is on its way to creating a future energy system.
Our aim is to shape a brighter future, and in order to reduce climate change, we simply have to alter our tactics and try to meet our energy needs with renewable energies,
as well as being a role model for future generations. So our children won't even know there's another way, and I think that's very important. Wunsiedel is part of the EU-funded edgeFLEX research project, which is working on the role of flexibility in the energy system of the future.
Our job is simply to recreate nature,